We are looking at Joey's above the water breaststroke, commentary by Coach Chris. We're going to let this run not quite full speed, but we're going to take a look at what's going on. Really nice turn. I really like that turn. A little shallow, but we'll talk about that. Very common amongst the younger athletes. Solid pull. So above water, we're not looking for as much stuff as we would below water, because the below water really shows a lot of the detail that we can talk about. But let's go ahead and go through this and see what we can talk about. So really like Joey's pull. Where he needs to work on changing it is you can see the angle his hands are coming. So he's doing a good job of getting the body out of the water, but he's trying to throw the hands. They're coming out of the water at this angle towards the ceiling. Okay, and you don't want to go to the ceiling. Like at this point, his arms are high enough. His hands should be oriented forward, this direction. You know, there's a big, you see a lot of these kids who have this big, they want to get the hands up out of the water, so they're throwing their hands up out of the water. You don't really need to get the hands up out of the water. There's a lot of top breaststrokers these days who don't. You want to get the hands up to the surface, not by throwing the hands that direction, but by bringing the body up high over the water. And he's doing a good job of getting the body up. So his elbows are right at the surface. His hands should be right at the surface. I would prefer to see his thumb just under the surface and his hands ready to shoot straight forward than to watch them come out, because it's adding a little bit of time to the recovery, and it's sending his energy up a little bit too much, up and away instead of forward, and it's causing a little bit of a hitch to a stroke. So, you know, really, really good with the body position. Just keep the hands in the water and just extend forward instead of trying to scoop them out. Because you can tell when kids do this, because they have their recovery is kind of like a rainbow. It's kind of got this parabolic shape to it, you know, where they're kind of shooting it over the water. And you can see it perfectly right there. But really his body position, his head position, he's getting his head down. Looks really, really good. He's got a lot of forward and back movement with the hips to drive the kick. Now his kick is slipping, and we'll see that underwater, and I'll explain why. You can tell he's not driving his feet all the way together. I mean, on this kick, we got this much space right here between his feet. He's not driving the feet all the way together, and he's kicking straight back instead of down and away. We'll talk about that. You know, but his body position, his actual getting the head in line, getting his body in the right position is really, really good. He's getting those elbows through in that pull. And really solid turn. I mean, that's as tight and low as you can get on that turn. It looks really, really good. So, not going to try and monkey with that too much, except to get him a little bit deeper. He's a little shallow. Really good. Hands are tight. We'll get a better look underwater. I think they can be a little tighter. But again, it's really just keep the hands going forward instead of up and over on that recovery. Get the elbows to the surface. Focus on keeping the upper arm, the bicep out of the water as you extend. Don't think about getting the hands out. It's not, the little kids are taught to think too much with their hands, and they want to, you know, because it's easy. That's how we view our body. We see our hands easier than we see our elbows and everything else when we feel them. And so, you know, a lot of the kids do that, where they try to focus on getting the hands out. Just keep the hands in the water. Just bring them up to whatever level your elbow gets to. That's as high up they need to go. But really, you know, like I said, there's a lot of good stuff on this above water view. He's getting the body position pretty good. He's getting high over the water. He's coming up and over. We talk about that. We drill that. And I'm seeing a lot of what we're working on. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff. So let's take a look at the underwater. And that's where we can really kind of nitpick some stuff. Very good job.